to touch on that point, what's crazy to me about like racism is like I gave somebody an analogy the other day. You know, I was like, nobody nobody is open like, oh hey, I'm a rapist. Hey, I'm a, you know, whatever. I'm a if they have to tell you, you know what I mean? So with racism, like nobody wanted to openly admit, hey, I'm a racist. Because when you call them a racist, it's like, bro,
Yeah.
if a race of people are telling you things that you are doing and saying is offending them, you're a racist. You know what I mean? You gotta like I don't understand where that thought process. You know, nobody just openly says, "Oh, hey, I'm a murderer." Like, no, you know what I mean? Like nobody ever admits to being something that isn't good. You know, very rarely. Like you're not gonna find too many people who openly say in public, "Oh, hey, I'm a racist." You know what I mean? So, but everybody can agree that racism exists. You know, so it's like, bro, what it is like what you said with the black brands. Sometimes I don't even think it's intentional. They might not even fully be realizing what they're doing, but it's like, bro, you skipped over all these brands and look at how it looks. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it looks real
It
suspect
looks crazy.
to have a pop up and there's black brands there and they didn't get featured. You know?
It looks
And
crazy.
then
No, I peeped that the first time we went, because the first one I did was when you was in town, and I
when
was
we
looking
walked away, I
around.
was just about to say that. Every time me and you walked away, we got sales. So we started walking around. Cause we're like,
Yeah.
okay, like we peeped this already. We see what's going on here.
So,
They won't even.
and that's what made me. I like one that kind of I look at it like from a psychology standpoint. I'm like, and some of them do well, so I ain't condemning it, but it's it's too much to pick from for a lot of people. And then I started like, okay, who's really gaining from this thing? And I'm like, it's cause it's really,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
So it's just like, well, nobody else is really getting put on like that though. Like you say they are, but I'm like, they really ain't. So I was like, and we always been the type people. Nah, I don't make my own lane. Like I don't want to ride your, cause then you go always be like, well, and I
they only here
and
because of me.
yeah, but I mean, everybody eventually needs a rub from somebody here and there. But I don't want. I'm like, no, I don't like the energy around it. It's cool and
Mm.
all, but it's like, mm-mm. So what I started doing, I'm gonna tap in because as big as some of these brands are in Jacksonville, Gen Jags and there are other people. I'm like, I don't see y'all products on a lot of black people though. So I'm like, either they don't really know who you are, or they just ain't fucking with you like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is they don't even know who they are. So I'm like, so y'all ain't even marketing. Y'all just skipping a whole market. Keep in mind that black folks move the market 90% of the
Right,
time,
right, right.
or if you
That's a
want to go
fact.
85% of the time. But
That's a
I'm like,
fact.
let's be real now. Like,
That's
who
a
moves
fact.
the needle for a lot of shit? And I'm like, y'all just skipping over a whole entire market that is ripe for the picking. But y'all just, nah, I'm not. Either you just don't know how to, and I don't even think it's just. I think they just don't know how to do it. So it's like either it's like kind of intimidation or, I don't know. But so that's when I noticed. That was one of the first things I picked up on. What's
Yeah,
going on?
nothing. But nah, yeah, it is. It may be a lack of just understanding how to market, to that audience, and some of it, honestly, I think is just fear. Because we saw, not saying names, but a very friendly person in the neighborhood change, and that friendly person clammed up for that strip that we was walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just a innate fear for some reason. And what we always explain is we got higher chance to get in touch right now than you do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen, man, people can say what they want, but black people's culture, bro. Because I listen to even how white people talk. I'm like, bro, y'all talking this way, and some of y'all don't even know why y'all talking this way. It's because
where
of
you
hip
getting it
hop.
from? Right.
Yeah, you don't even know it. You just hearing people say it, so you start saying it. I'm like, that comes from hip hop. Why does everybody say cap now? Where do you think that came from? Like, oh, that's cap.
Right.
Yeah, where do you think that came from? Right? The
Right.
slang changes, but it means the same thing. But what do you think that came from? That
Bro,
didn't
and
come from no
even if we go to
rock and roll
luxury
song.
brands, bro, Gucci and Fendi, they are who they are off the
Yeah,
back of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like that culture and all that makes a lot
Cristal,
of those brands. Cristal, you
all
know,
of them.
they once you get in the rap song, look at
I love that.
Kavaki.
I love that fucking. I know I said earlier, but I used to drink Cristal. Them fuckers racist. So I switched gold bottles on to that. Bruh, Jay-Z, when he said something, like, he put Tom Ford on.
Yeah,
I don't pop Molly. Like, how did that even go together? I don't pop Molly. I rock Tom Ford. Like, and Tom Ford, to his credit, he didn't go the other way that other brands back in the day used to be like, oh, I didn't market, like Tim's and all that. I didn't create I didn't know a bunch of black people was gonna start wearing like, no, Tom Ford was like, no, he put me on. Like, no, he did this for me. And I'm like, that's a fact. I didn't know who the fuck Tom Ford was till Jay-Z started saying
right.
it.
That's why
I'm
I
like,
get mad. There's a certain watch brand. I know you ain't as big into watches. Called Richard Mille. Have you been seeing like the square looking watches? The one that Odell wore while he was playing football that would
mm,
cost a crazy amount of money.
yeah,
That
I saw that.
I started seeing that brand on hip hop. And now they starting to really explode. Like they started off, their watches may be like 60, 70. Them same watches is over 100,000 now, you know? And when I go to their page, I didn't see no hip hop on there. I was like, see, I don't like that. I was like, I don't like that because a big reason why y'all could do what you can do now is
Yeah.
because they made it, Odell made it cool wearing it on the field.
See,
These
and that's how
people
you
made
need
it
to clip.
cool.
When you clip this one, I know it's gonna be controversial, but you be like, no, black is culture. Like, black people move the needle for
It's a
brand.
fact. It's a
That's how you
fact.
need to put it. Black people move the needle for brand. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. I'm not seeing Kenny Paisley on these fucking watch brands or Gucci or like on this stuff that they're like, bro. And Kenny Paisley, don't get me wrong, is it? No, Kenny Chesney. My bad.
Chesney, yeah, you're right.
Chesney.
This is
And
Brad
it's
Paisley.
Brad Paisley. Yeah, my
Brad
bad. I apologize, country community. Because I knew, hey, I knew better than that. I didn't either. The point is, Kenny Chesney is fired. Brad Paisley is fired. But they're not moving the needle for a lot of stuff.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like,
They're
and
not
so it's
moving the
just like,
needle.
you
You
put
could,
some
and people could say what they want about
you
hip
put
hop,
something on
about rap.
Amigos, right? You put, like, look at Travis Scott. Right. Travis Scott is
It's
killing
blowing up.
the game right now.
Yes. And to me,
Bro,
he even that big of an artist. Like I'm like, bro, how many songs does he have? But it don't matter. His
it don't
influence
matter. He moves the
is
needle. But
huge.
bro, how does McDonald's run out of meat? They never do. They make a Travis Scott meal. They're like, oh, we're running out of meat. Like, no. It's not that, hey, we out of meat in the thing. No, we are out of meat. Like, we had to stop. So, like, we can't even put nothing else in there to cook. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Are
And
you kidding?
well, and that's what kills me because the moment that we really understand how much power we have, everything changes.
We don't fuck with each other, bro.
That's the issue. That's the issue. Because everything, if Migos, and I always tell people, I'm not saying this because I own a black brand, you know, it ain't got to be us. But if they start winning something,
But think about how many. It's been some black brands we done curved in the past too. Just because the narrative is out there, like, okay, are you trying to rip this off, or are you trying to get the rub from us? We was earlier on. It's something that I'm like, well, maybe we should have, but I think we was kind of paranoid in the beginning.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the
And
issue. Is
looking back on the whole Adidas thing, we probably should have did that situation in the beginning when that group reached out to us because we was curving them.
yeah,
The group reached out to us. And think about it now. Even if they would have copied, we off that situation now. Anyway, we can't
yeah,
even use that
man.
damn design.
Yeah,
So
it don't even
sometimes
matter.
it's just like maybe, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I'll be back and forth with it. But the fact that what makes me, cause they reached out a lot too. I ain't gonna lie.
They
Like, yeah,
did, they did.
we curved them every single time. But it's like, the fact that they still going and we know how hard it is and they still trying to grind and like I hope they own all that stuff because I mean they get played because I'll get asked about them every now and then. It's not often, but it's like it is every they were like, hey man, I saw on World Star Hip Hop this group called Loyalty. I'm like, I knew who they are. I'm like, bro, I knew who they are for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like Miles, what up, Miles? Bro, Miles